Cardinal infrastructure.
Hello and welcome to Colonial Crossfire's live Democratic debate coverage. Tonight, I'm your moderator, Jessica Nix. We will not be streaming the debate live here. It will be on CNN tonight, but you can get your panel analysis, your student panel analysis live here tonight. So starting off with our panel on the left, we have Keith Nagy. He is from Topeka, Kansas, and a sophomore and the Director of Political Affairs for DC College Democrats. And on the right, John Olds, a junior from Merrimack, Massachusetts, and the chairman of College Republicans. So let's get started on some pre-analysis for the debate. Keith, let's start with you. What are you looking at tonight?
Sure, so there's a few things I'm looking at tonight. This is the first debate since Elizabeth Warren briefly surpassed Joe Biden in national polling, so she may be on defense tonight. I want to see how she plays that. Also, Mayor Pete has been going on the offense against Medicare for All candidates. Maybe see a few attacks from him tonight. And of course, impeachment is on everybody's minds tonight. So looking to see where candidates stand on that, how aggressive they go with that, or maybe if they play more to the center towards more moderate positions.
John, what are you looking at?
Yeah, so I'm looking at basically people who are polling between 4th and 6th place. So that's Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar. Will they have their standout moment that kind of propels them into that A-list top tier of candidates?
So Keith, what are some topics that you're thinking they're going to touch on tonight?
So definitely Medicare for All. That's been a very prominent theme we've seen throughout all the debates. I think it's the most divisive issue in our party right now. Obviously, the top two candidates, or two of the top three candidates, Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, are both in support of Medicare for All. Joe Biden feels that we should simply expand upon the Affordable Care Act by providing a public option. Both of those are seen as pretty reasonable solutions by a wide array of people. So I'm looking forward to see how they duke it out and kind of go over those policy differences.
So John, what are some topics that you're keeping your eye on?
Yeah, so I'm looking at how the candidates will respond to the situation in Syria and Turkey and the Middle East just in general. A lot of the candidates have run on a fairly similar foreign policy platform as President Trump. They're trying to, end the endless wars. So how they'll differentiate themselves from the president on those issues, that's what I'm looking for the most.
So we have 12 debaters on stage, the most we have ever had for a presidential debate. So John, I know you touched on this a little bit, but who needs to have power over the stage tonight? Who needs that big moment to kind of raise themselves in the polls?
So Joe Biden has struggled in the debate format, at least. He definitely needs to have a moment where people can kind of look at him as presidential. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, you have Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar. That's kind of the second tier. One of them needs to have a breakout performance tonight.
Keith, what about you? What are you thinking?
So I'm thinking Joe Biden is actually in a pretty prime position still at this point. His floor is at 26%. That's the lowest he's ever gotten in national polls. The only candidate who has actually ever exceeded his floor is Elizabeth Warren. She still trails him by about 6%. So I'm really looking at a standout performance from her. Of course, Kamala Harris and Pete Buttigieg, they need to do well in this debate because we are getting down to the wire. There's still a few more debates before Iowa, but this is key in terms of fundraising before then.
All right, so these are some great things to start looking at, but it is time for the debate to get started. But we will be back right here after the debate in Ohio to continue with our live panel analysis. We'll see you then.